everybody, welcome back to my YouTube. This is the Pivots Queen, Courtney, and we will be doing a quick Euro USD chart breakdown. It's been a while since I brought you guys one of these videos, so I don't remember where I was marking up last. So I won't be doing a recap of however the last trades played out. We're just gonna pick up from right now, and I'll kind of give you guys a like what I'm expecting for this week. Before we get started with that, I am going to go over the news. I'm also going to say these are like my least edited videos, so I won't be going back through to edit this. I probably won't even go back to watch it. I'm just trying to get the information out and post it because I'm really trying my best to post weekly for you guys. Last month I did great. This month not so much, but it is the end of the school year. My son's out of school, so now I'm going from having just a baby during the day to two kids. It's a lot. So I'm doing the best I can, but I'm gonna try to do more chart markup videos just because I don't edit these, and I am a man or a one band show. It's just me, so I'm the only one editing, recording, all that stuff. So it does take me a little longer to get like the mindset videos done. I am working on two of those for you guys, so be on the lookout for that, hopefully in the next couple coming weeks. But I did want to record something to post for you guys. So for this week, we are watching Euro USD. I did want to point out some news headlines. I told you guys I was going to try to explain my viewpoint on news a little bit more. Now, I am new to fundamentals. So if you have any advice or you have any input or if I said something wrong, please comment down below and let me know how I can correct myself because I'm trying my best to get better at combining technicals with fundamentals. But for this week, as far as fundamentals go, the main headline is going to be this US-Iran deal. Um, the deal was supposed to be signed today. However, we really haven't got any updates on that yet. The headlines on it are mixed. So there are headlines that says Iran says no deal, or the deal is at least not going to be signed on Trump's timeline. There are headlines saying that Trump says the agreement should be signed in a couple of hours. So since the headlines are back and forth, you kind of have to stay patient and wait on how the market reacts to the news being released. So the news can have one or two effects. If the deal is signed, so if the US and Iran come to a deal, they agree on it, then we should see equities go bullish. We should see gold go bullish. We should see the DXY go bearish and oil go bearish. If the deal is signed, that's kind of like de-escalating the war. And so that means the strait will be opened up so that way oil and everything could be transported and come through. So that should decrease the oil prices. So of that logic, that's what we should see in reaction to the deal being signed. Now, if there's no deal and they can't come to an agreement, that should lead to more escalation. So that means equities will be bearish, gold will be bearish, oil will be bullish, and the DXY will be bullish. Because if they can't come to an agreement, that means the strait is still closed off. That means oil and everything is having a hard time being transported. That means the increase of war times. It costs money to launch missiles and things of that nature. So the dollars in oil are just gonna have to go up in reaction to that. So this week we just want to wait on confirmation and we want to trade the reaction and not the emotion. We can go into the week having a bias, but we still have to wait on how the market reacts in order for us to have a reaction, right? So keep a lookout on that news. You might see mixed headlines, but look for the headline and then look to see how the market reacts and then start to look for your positions. So now that that's done, let's talk about this week. So just a quick kind of top-down analysis on Euro USD. So we have been in this consolidation range for a while. When we were at the top of this range, I was saying price could sell down to the bottom. We gotten really close to the bottom. And now we're just kind of in between again, essentially. I'm gonna stretch the zone out because we might be in this zone for a little longer. Um, But why I think we might be seeing a bounce up right now, is if we drop down to like the 4 hour time frame, there is actually pretty heavy 4 hour divergence. So the divergence structure actually starts back here. We can see price made a really low low, and then the lows have been getting higher since then. But if we actually look at the lows at the chart, price has been making lower lows, right? So I can see, I mean, even to here, this is all 4 hour. Oops, here we go. 4 hour bullish divergence. And so because of that, I feel like, okay, we're probably going to get a bounce up because the RSI, when we see divergence, is really just showing us momentum. And this is letting us know that like the selling momentum is slowing down and some bullish momentum might be starting to enter in. So just from the 4 hour time frame, I can see that we have divergence. And then I'm gonna zoom out because I have this 4 hour timeline or trend line. So this is my point A, point B extended out. And so I'm actually really curious to see if we might see price kind of buy it back up to this 4 hour trend line. Um, that's all my information for the 4 hour. So we're going to drop down the time frame. On the 1 hour, we can see that divergence pretty clearly as well. There's like divergence here. Price made equal lows. But on the RSI, stretch this out just so you can see. Um, price is moving up. So there is some clear, didn't mean to hide that. Some clear divergence going on there. So we do have some strong bullish divergence. This dotted line is a 1 hour trend line, and price is breaking that trend line. And then we have this lower time frame. This is more like an M30 trend line, and that trend line has been broken and retested. So my selling trend lines, my minor trend line has already been broken. And minor time frame, it does look like we are starting bullish divergence, I mean divergence, bullish market structure. So just to point it out, let's say we have this high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. That was like the selling market structure on the lower time frame. Then we had price break above. It gave us a breakup structure. It created a higher low point, and then it created a higher high point. And so that is letting us know that we could be transitioning into buying market structure, along with the fact that price is breaking above my 1 hour trend line and breaking above the major zone, which is that dark gray zone. So that's kind of like all the information I've gathered per time frame. We can also look to draw a minor fib just from this low point to high point. And we could see that that minus 27 TP has been hit already. And since it was a shallow retracement, we could see price kind of respect this area and reverse from here. I just wanted to see what that fib looked like. Um, but since we have all this divergence, I would say that we are most likely looking for a move to the upside. If we make note of where the last high was, which was here, for right now, I would say that we can expect price to kind of buy up to this last high point. Then we want to see what price does from there. If price does break above these previous high points, then I would be looking to see if price is going to trade up to that 4 hour trend line that I was talking about before, that we zoomed out to look at. And then this is also, I have a lot of trend lines on this chart. This is actually my trend line chart, so that's why it's so many trend lines. But I have a lower trend line here. Those are my 2 points. And it looked like price was kind of consolidating, but eventually it did break out of that trend line. So I want to see if price might come back to retest it, kind of test this higher trend line, right? So I'm kind of looking to see if price is going to come where they meet in the middle. then I want to see how price is going to react at that area. If we end up respecting this area, then I'm gonna look for moves down. Ultimately to the bottom of this 4 hour zone would be like my overall target. Um, but if price breaks above this zone, then I'm basically targeting the top of this 4 hour zone. So that's kind of long-term bias, but for right now, for this week, I would be looking for this move up and then kind of waiting to see what price does from there. Um, I will continue to look for buys as long as price is making higher highs and higher lows. The moment I see a previous low get broken, so let's say this is the most recent low. Um, so if this low ends up getting broken to the downside, then I would change my tune. But as long as we're making buy and market structure, I would be looking for buys again up to that area. Um, And then, yeah, I would just wait on possible break of structure. The market just opened, so this is a kind of a tight trend line. Um, so I would say let price breathe, play around a bit. You might get a trend line like that. And just see if price is respecting your minor trend line or starting to break through your minor trend line. But I am leaning more on the buy bias for this week. Um, Pay attention to that news, the USD news, because it is going to depend on if that the news of the deal is going to be positive or negative for the dollar. I will note because I always try to mark the buy and the sell, right? So if we break back below this zone, then I would be looking for that sell. And then as far as entries, because this buy is already taking off, um, I will wait for price to kind of push away, kind of come back, and then that would be my entry on the retest. Since we already gotten the break, I could see if I could wait for an entry on the retest. Or I could wait for price to break above this high and try to catch the remainder of the buy to like that next key zone there. Um, Essentially that's it. As far as my analysis goes, I don't think I have anything extra to add. I'm gonna double check because that is my naked chart. This is like my dirty chart. And the points are a little different, but kind of same idea. I would be targeting like that area because I have the same trend line. Um, yeah, I feel like we're just consolidating in this zone. So far we have been in selling market structure, so I could just mark it up for you really quick. We had this push down, we had a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So we have been in pretty strong selling market structure. Um, but if we break like the previous highs, I would even say, let's use the brush. If we break this high here, that's a higher time frame break of structure. So if we get that break of structure and this trend line break, then I'm definitely gonna take price up to the top of this zone. And then wait, because price has really been struggling to break out of this zone. So I don't want to make any assumptions. That's why I'm kind of trading within this consolidation. But if we do get a breakout in either direction, I'm definitely going for it. Because it has been a long time trading in this zone. Okay, so that's it for Euro USD. We could take a quick peek at the DXY. Again, I marked this up pretty lightly, so it's not too much market or markups up here. But I did want to note that price kind of opened up breaking my trend line, so that's part of why I have that bullish bias for Euro USD. The DXY does look like it's starting to move to the downside. We got bearish divergence. So if this continues moving down, then I'll continue looking for buys on EU. But if we end up getting some news that makes the dollar push to the upside, then I change my mind. I'll be looking for Euro USD sales. Um, I don't really have anything else marked up. So that's all I have for you guys. My GU is very messy because this is like my fib chart. But essentially, I'm kind of looking for the same thing. Price broke my major and minor trend lines. So I'm looking to see if price is going to make it up to this major trend line here. So pretty similar setup. I like I like watching both because sometimes if I'm unclear on EU, I'll look at GU and vice versa. But for Euro USD this week in particular, I do have a buy bias. I do think we might see price move to the upside. I don't think it's too late to get into this trade. It did open with a little bit of a gap, I think. But I would just wait for price to kind of push away from this area, come back and retest. And at that retest, that would be kind of our entry for that buy. So I hope that all of that made sense. I hope everyone has a great trading week. Leave comments down below if you have any questions for me. You can also follow me on Instagram. I'll try to tag my Instagram somewhere in the video. But it's at wonderfully.courtney underscore 1.1 underscore. So wonderfully.courtney. You can always message me on Instagram and I always make sure to reply back to you guys. But that's it for me today. I hope everyone has a great week and I will see you guys next week. Hey.